Welcome to Cardiff News Plus. I'm Victoria Barahuna. A launch event for plastic-free Ribena is taking place tonight at a local delicatessen in Cardiff. The event hopes to officially launch a campaign to make the Welsh capital suburb the first plastic-free village. After watching Blue Planet on the BBC, Ribena's resident Naomi England felt motivated to start a campaign to make the suburb a plastic-free area. Determined to make an impact, the mum of two visited her local MP, Labour's Anna McMurray, to gain support. She visited local businesses to encourage them to sign up to the Ribenas Against Plastic campaign.
Well, the ultimate goal is to try and make Ribena as plastic-free as possible. All the businesses try and use reusable things where possible, try and cut down on the one-use plastics. Obviously, plastic is important, and plastic is really hard to eradicate completely from any of the businesses because the suppliers still wrap things in plastic.
Well, first of all, we use a lot of plastic for single-use purposes. Things like plastic bags, coffee cups and things like that. And the simplest thing that people can do is to not use those.
Ever since, local businesses decided to go eco-friendly and adopted new measures, whether by replacing plastic bags for paper bags or by giving a free drink to anyone using a reusable bamboo coffee cup. The bakery was willing to make a change and now no longer provides plastic straws.
Our company decided it was a good idea to help save the environment, due to customers asking to take away things that we don't really need, plastic being a big factor in the environment, especially with sea turtles. It's really important to us to stay with the times and to help the world, really. It's really important to me.
We asked the customers what they think.
Plastic free and not using plastics, using less plastic, so yeah, it's quite important to do that. A lot of businesses adopt that.
The policy is being used to make users get rid of the plastic. In my opinion, we ought to get the manufacturers to make plastic that they can recycle instead of asking others to do what they should be doing.
It's estimated that in the UK, 7 million disposable coffee cups are used every day. A plastic cup like this could take 20 years to decay, while a bag like this could take from 20 to 1,000 years to decompose. Campaigns like this may seem small, but are a step in the right direction to caring for the environment. Cardiff Council have been discussing new plans for childcare in the city. The plan is to offer 30 hours of free childcare per week, made up of early schooling and nursery care. But private nurseries could face some problems with this scheme. Alexandra Galli reports.
Games and toys are not the only things with which nursery in Cardiff are dealing this week. Some of the businesses have closed in the past few years. The council plan would mean that a private nursery like this one would be paid £4.50 per hour to take children under the scheme for 70 hours a week.
Our telling parents is 30 hours free childcare. Actually, I was at a meeting not so long ago, and it's 17 and a half hours. It's 12 and a half hours education, which is schools. Private nurseries, if private nurseries decide to opt in because it's voluntary, you will only be allowed to claim 17 and a half hours for the children. That's all the parents can have. They are paying £4.50 an hour, I believe, which for a lot of nurseries is less than the hourly charge they are paying. And there's no way you can't invoice them for the top up to make up your fees. So if you take it on at the moment, the nurseries will be running at a loss.
It seems that there are some concerns from people in the business, but what do parents in Cardiff think about it?
Well, I think, it's definitely important. The cost of childcare is quite astronomical at times.
I think it could be very positive, and it would save parents a huge amount of money, which then means that they can work, which then means they contribute back to the economy.
I think it will be a huge benefit to young parents. Previously being just the 15 hours, it's nice to have, but it would mean parents can go back to work a lot quicker.
So it is good, but they need to do a bit more, I think, a bit more hours.
Cardiff Council have been discussing which areas of the city could fit better to start the plan. Lower income wards could be the first to apply the scheme in September. By 2020, the new childcare plan should be available in all Cardiff.
April is Bowel Cancer Awareness Month. An event has been held in Cardiff to encourage people to check their own health as early as possible. Jerry Lee reports.
Bowel Cancer Awareness Month networking was a chance for people to learn about the disease and to share the experience.
6 people on average get diagnosed with bowel cancer every day in Wales. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to raise the profile to the importance of getting yourself checked, eating healthily, drinking plenty of water and keeping a balanced diet to help overcome these issues of bowel cancer.
An inflatable model of bowel is a learning resource provided by Cancer Research Wales. More than 30 people attend the event inside the bowel and learn from experts how and why people get bowel cancer.
And this is what the gastroenterologist will see when he sees everything normal and as it should be. So you've got a good blood supply and there's no significant pathology in terms of inflammation or lumps and bumps.
A new method of diagnosing the cancer early was demonstrated, and this can lead to lives being saved.
The presence of a bowel cancer, just from the molecular profile that the bowel cancer leaves in the blood. So it's a bit like a fingerprint left at a crime scene by a criminal, so the police would detect the fingerprint to look for the criminal. We're detecting a molecular fingerprint in the blood to look if there's a bowel cancer lurking somewhere.
There are some common reasons which stop people being aware of problems. The symptoms of bowel cancer are very common, like blood in stools and loss of weight. It is not easy to distinguish. Also, lots of people feel very embarrassed to tell others and have a check. At the event, some former bowel cancer patients and their relatives stressed the importance of being tested.
But some men don't like to talk about it, don't like the thought of how it would be diagnosed, but I just think it doesn't matter. If there's a test available, you've got to take it. And really, you've just got to listen to your body, because I knew something was not right. I knew that.
It's something I speak about quite strongly because of my mother. I'm not shy to tell people that you should always make sure you're checked quickly. I feel had my mother realised and not been so embarrassed to speak to me about her original breast cancer, then perhaps it might have been better for us.
I would say put that embarrassment to one side. It can save lives, and it does save lives. Prompt diagnosis saves lives. So please go and see the GP. Don't be embarrassed.
Support Bowel Cancer Awareness Month is start from today. More activities could be found in other cities. And the main purpose of this event is to encourage people to do the test as soon as possible and find the problem.
Many builders in Cardiff might use heat from burning rubbish in the near future. Today, Cardiff Council's Cabinet reviewed the project, which would cost £27 million. Gao Zhao reports.
The St. David's Shopping Centre, the Central Library and many public buildings might be part of a new heating network in Cardiff. The energy would come from Veridor, an energy recovery facility in Splot. Now we are at Veridor, the biggest energy recovery facility in Wales. It has been operated since 2014. But in the past, it only produced electricity, but now they want to produce more, like heat.
There is the Veridor recycling facility that takes municipal waste. It burns it, and it puts the energy from burning that waste through a steam turbine. And from memory, the steam turbine is about 30 megawatts. If you make 30 megawatts of electricity, you will reject or waste at least 60 megawatts of heat, maybe 100 megawatts of heat. About 3 times as much heat is wasted than is turned into electricity.
The council now hopes to press ahead with the next stage of the project.
What's innovative and different about this one is what we do at present and in the last few years,
all the waste, the waste that we can't recycle from South Wales and other areas, all comes to one centre, which is the two chimneys you see behind me, which is the Viridor waste to energy plant. There it gets burned, turned into energy, into steam, which in turn makes electricity. So you have an abundance of spare steam and water. So what we're planning to do with partners such as Viridor and Welsh Government and central government is take all of this heat, pipe it to an energy centre not that far away through two underground pipes, huge 16-inch insulated pipes. That will then allow us to use this for heating.
Cardiff Council believes the project might save 5% energy cost for the buildings that connect to the network.
In order to reduce congestion and free up parking spaces in Cardiff, the Welsh Government approved Cardiff Council's long-term plan to get more people to cycle and walk. As a part of the plan, 5 cycle superhighways will be built next year, Wing Doom reports.
This is North Road on a typical weekday afternoon. Buses, taxis and private cars in a long traffic jam leading to the city centre, while there are only few bikes on the cycle line. In order to encourage people living in the city centre to leave their cars at home and consider alternative options, Cardiff Council plans to build 5 cycle superhighways next year from the city centre to many areas, including Cathays, Adamstown, Cardiff Bay, Riverside and Ely. The new lanes will be segregated by a curb between the path and the road to make the roads safer for cyclists.
Cycling is clearly a way that most students and many residents of Cardiff commute around Cardiff, so more dedicated cycle lanes will inevitably be a good thing. It'll allow them to travel more safely.
It's much safer for cyclists. It's like I always find Cardiff is a horrible city to cycle in, and more cycle lanes is always better.
Another great initiative is a bike hire scheme introduced at 4 locations around the city in a council plan to encourage more eco-friendly journeys. The number will increase to 50 stations and 500 bikes in and around Cardiff during the summer. A public consultation about the plan is underway on the Cardiff government website. However, installing the roads is expensive, and the remaining work depends on finding the money. The first section of the cycle lines will be built on this road just beside me. By the way, Cardiff is quite a compact city. Is it practical to build cycle lines on a narrow road? Whether it is really helpful to reduce the traffic pressure in rush hours? It needs time to look for the outcome. This is Zhu Yinjun for Cardiff News Plus.
Designs for the new central bus station in Cardiff have been released. People say not having a central station in the city makes commuting a chaotic process. Priyanka Mehta reports.
Thousands of people in Cardiff take the bus to travel around the city every day. Not having a central bus station is a major problem for most of them. But catching buses from different areas of the city is especially a hardship for the old.
I think a central bus station where people don't have to walk to different parts of the city is going to benefit people, especially old people that suffer with arthritis and they can't walk too far.
The designs of the construction for the new central bus station have already been released, but not seeing any major developments, people who have been waiting for nearly 2 years are not really optimistic about the plan.
The bus station should have been done before the buildings were all thought of and whatever else, because as you can imagine, the passengers are disrupted through all this.
Is there going to be a bus station? That's $100 question, isn't it? Because where's it going to go? They said it was going to be a bus station here, but I haven't heard any plans for it to be a bus station. I know they built this lovely building here, but no one's given confirmation on a bus station yet, so I don't know if it's going to be one built.
This is where the proposed new central bus station for Cardiff is going to be developed. The council has already given approval for the construction, and the bus station is likely to be built by the end of 2020. For Cardiff News Plus, Priyanka Mehta.
That's all for now. You can follow us on Twitter. We're at Cardiff News Plus. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.